Yes, I'm wearing a bright orange beanie. Oh, you want to know why? Well, I'll tell you. You see, booze, hooch, liquor, moonshine, white lightning, everybody enjoys a little drink every once in a while, and if you don't, well, you're just un-American. I don't really mean that, I'm just kidding. Not really. Some people really enjoy their drinking. Apparently the entire country of New Zealand enjoys their drinking a little bit too much. In New Zealand, a sword-wielding burglar, yes, sword-wielding burglar, broke into a couple's house in the early hours of the morning. The man, Roman Edward Brandon, and a friend threatened the couple before leaving the house with the marijuana plant, growing equipment, a handbag, a wallet, and some cash. Somehow this guy was caught, or he turned himself in, and he admitted to robbing these people with a 1.5 foot long sword. When asked why he robbed the house, Brandon said he was too drunk to remember. Now that is only an excuse that sometimes works when you say, come home at 3 o'clock in the morning smelling like a strip club. Not that I would know anything about that. Somehow I don't think that's a valid enough excuse to steal somebody's weed with a sword. Well, you just leave your giant sword here and you just go on home, you little rascal. Another drunken story from the same country involves a 40-year-old mother being caught driving her children to school under the influence, not once but twice. 2 days in a row. Tracy Cooper was pulled over twice in September, and both times found to be over the legal limit. Her defense was that she was depressed and that she resorted to drinking. The judge then proceeded to suspend her license for a year, sentenced her to 150 hours of community service and 9 months of supervision. Maybe it's just me, but doesn't that sentence seem a little light considering you're driving with your children in the car, drunk as with her kids in the car? What the hell? What the hell's wrong with you, lady? I mean, it's a good thing I'm not a judge, because if you put your kids in that much danger, you don't deserve to have kids. Depressed or not, you don't get sauced up and say, okay kids, it's time for school, let's go. Idiot people. You might as well just give them a loaded handgun and say, hey, here, let's play some Russian roulette while we're at it. Lightening the mood a bit, in McAllen, Texas, a 32-year-old female was arrested for seriously injuring another man in a hit and run. You may be asking yourself, how is that going to lighten the mood? Well, after the crash, the woman jumped out of the vehicle and ran away. Still not mood lightening enough for you? The woman proceeded to strip down to her undergarments in hopes that shedding her clothes will get rid of anything that people could use to identify her. If that's not drunken hilarity, I don't know what is. No, forget naked, they'll never know it was me. Just get away from me. Get away. And finally, we get to the creme de la creme of alcohol-induced news. Hitler's grandmother was sauced in the back seat of a car. Yes, you heard me right. In New Jersey, the family of Adolf Hitler Campbell was pulled over on their way to court to try to regain custody of their strangely named children. After being pulled over, the police said that they smelled alcohol in the car. After making the husband, the driver, take a sobriety test, it turns out that Hitler's grandmother was the one celebrating an early happy hour in the back seat. Deborah Campbell, the mother, went on to comment that she hasn't received word as to why her children were taken from her, but she assumes it has to do with their names. You think freedom of speech is for things that actually matter, like people's opinions on politics and religion, and other things that are actually important. Naming your kids Adolf Hitler, Aryan Nation, and Hanslin is just pushing the bounds of stupidity. What does this have to do with booze, you might ask? Well, if you're not drunk when you decide to name your child Adolf Hitler, there is something seriously wrong with you. So those fun time stories leaves this question for everybody. What is the stupidest thing you've done under the influence of alcohol? Leave a text comment or a video response. Personally, I don't really have many drunken stories, but I'm young. There's plenty of time to make some up.